Wars no longer stay local. If fighting erupts between the United States and Iran, the consequences will not remain confined to the Middle East. They will ripple across Asia, global markets, and international security. Two countries watching this crisis more closely than most are China and Pakistan. Each has deep strategic interests, serious vulnerabilities, and very little room for error. In this video, Global Eye explains the realistic short-term steps China and Pakistan would take if escalation begins. Let's take a look at China. China's primary concern is not ideology. It is energy security and regional stability. China imports a significant portion of its oil from the Middle East, including Iranian crude. Any disruption in the Persian Gulf or the Strait of Hormuz would immediately threaten Chinese industry, inflation control, and economic growth. At the same time, China has invested billions of dollars in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, known as CPEC. This corridor is Beijing's strategic gateway to the Arabian Sea and a vital alternative route for trade and energy. A war involving Iran would place both oil supply lines and CPEC security at risk. In the short term, China's first response would not be military. It would be diplomatic. Beijing would push urgently for de-escalation through back-channel talks with Washington and Tehran. It would support emergency consultations at the United Nations and encourage regional mediation involving Gulf states and Pakistan. China's objective would be clear: freeze the conflict before it expands. At the same time, China would move to shield itself from energy shocks. Strategic petroleum reserves would be activated to cushion supply disruptions. Oil imports would be diversified where possible, while Iranian purchases would likely continue quietly through indirect channels. China would seek stability, not confrontation with the United States. For Pakistan, the situation would be far more dangerous. Pakistan would suddenly border a war-torn country. It would face pressure to protect Chinese investments, manage internal security threats, and remain alert on its eastern border with India. At the same time, unrest in Balochistan and the risk of proxy destabilization would increase sharply. Pakistan's greatest fear would be becoming entangled in a war not of its choosing. Pakistan's immediate response would be political clarity. Islamabad would publicly declare strict neutrality. It would reject participation in the conflict and deny the use of Pakistani territory for any military operations. Neutrality would not be a preference, it would be a necessity. On the ground, Pakistan would rapidly increase border security along its frontier with Iran to prevent spillover. Security operations in Balochistan would intensify. CPEC routes, Gwadar port, and Chinese workers would be placed under enhanced protection. Any internal instability would endanger Pakistan's own security and China's strategic interests. By and large, the greatest dangers in a short-term escalation would be indirect. Proxy attacks, accidental naval clashes, energy price shocks, and regional miscalculations could spiral beyond control. The most dangerous outcome would be an India-Pakistan confrontation triggered by broader instability. In a short-term US-Iran escalation, the strategies are clear. China would act as a risk manager, stabilizing energy supplies, protecting CPEC, and pushing diplomacy. Pakistan would act as a balancer, defending neutrality, securing its borders, and preventing regional escalation. Neither country wants war. Both want containment. Because in today's interconnected world, the cost of miscalculation is global. This is Global Eye, watching the world and explaining reality. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.